Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another Off the Board with Pineapple Papers YouTube hop. So this is a hop where we take inspiration from our Pinterest boards and get them used up on a page. So here's my pin here. I've seen a couple pages like this where I've really been inspired to do something where you have this big torn section in the middle of the page. So that's really what I'm going off of. I'm not going to really scrap lift the whole page, but I have really liked how this torn section looked on that page, and I really wanted to draw inspiration from that and start my page off by doing something dynamic like that on my page. So I have this picture here of Billy's 11-month, I want to say birthday, but it's his, birthday as far as his 11th month, since I celebrated his every month birthday. So I know I'd mentioned that in the past about our guide dog puppies, since we usually only have them for a year. We celebrate a birthday every month instead of every year. So this is just his 11-month photo, and I have this purple bedspread that looks very maroon in the photo. So I thought it was a good chance to pull in this maroon paper from the layout, and I really have been dying to use this beautiful specialty paper that comes in the Willow collection. That's this multicolored butterfly with copper foil on vellum. And so I've been hoarding it a little bit over this month, the course of this month, and I was like, I've got to get this on a page this month. So I thought this type of design really lent itself to showing off that paper in a really cool way. So you can see where I'm trying to save as much as I can. You can see me trying to think through how to use as little of this as possible with also letting it have its moment. So I tore this maroon paper, and you can see how I'm gonna have those raw edges on the middle in the middle of the pages. I'll end up distressing those a little more too, so you can really see. And then I cut the section of the butterfly paper that I thought would fit that gap really well. But then you can also see me going back and trying to save any of the full or mostly full butterflies that will be covered. I'm thinking I can fussy cut those and use them as embellishments on future pages. So really trying to be frugal with this specialty paper. I only bought one of them, so I'm trying to definitely make sure I get that on multiple pages, not just one or two. So okay, saved a couple butterflies on the top, and now you can see me going in and saving 2 or 3 of the butterflies that are going to be covered on the bottom. But I thought this was a really cool way to use this specialty paper, and I definitely wanted to back it on white so you could really get the colors of those butterflies. And so this type of design just lent itself really well to showing off this type of paper. So as soon as I got it spaced out and saved what I could, I'm going to go ahead and tuck it up under that torn edge and get everything glued down. I'm just doing this on a cheap piece of white background paper so I can kind of space out my 12 by 12 design. So yeah, that took me a while to get settled, and then I'll move on to my actually layering of the photos. I have no idea what I'm doing on this page other than this. So I'm taking my time figuring this section out because it's as far as my brain has gone to figure out what we're doing on this page. But I really enjoyed this, and so I feel like I need to do this some more because it was a really cool way to use these papers. But now that I've kind of pieced down my 12 by 12, I'm going to trim up the edges and get started with my layering. You can see to the side I've already pulled out a lot of the colors I thought went really well with this butterfly paper. So any scraps of that scripty mint, a couple pinks, a couple greens. You can see those vellum butterflies that I also pulled off to the side, but I won't use any of those this time. And then underneath my photo there, you can also see where I pulled in a lot of the ephemera and cut apart pieces that I also thought went really well. I want, if I can, to try and pull in the gray die cut butterfly piece, just because that butterfly is represented in the little vellum, and so I thought it would be cool to pull that into an embellishment cluster when I get there. But now that I have my 12 by 12 trimmed up, I will move on. So yeah, like I said, gonna go ahead and distress the torn edges. I think this really lifts up and gives some dimension to that raw edge and draws your attention to it being torn. I think that looks really cool. I was really nervous about doing that because usually when I freehand tear, it goes super wonky and doesn't look cute, which is why I usually try and use a ruler when I tear, but that would have given like too straight of an edge. So I just had to suck it up and try and do a free torn edge, and I'm actually really pleased with how it ended up. So yeah, now that that's down, you can see me starting to layer with some of my scraps. I really wanted to pull in this copper polka dot. I thought that would bring that bling and that shine from the vellum down into the photo layers. So I was already starting to layer with that, and then I decided I wanted to go in and just layer the photo on some plain white before I started layering with all my scraps. So that's what I'm going in and doing now. I'm still working with these white cardstock cards that Marcus had taken from work. Someone had thrown away a stack of like perfectly fine, nice white cardstock cards. So I'm repurposing them as photo mats. So I just had to cover up the logo from his job. So yeah, now you can see me just layering. You can see that whole stack of stuff. I'm really just doing what I like to do with scraps in layering, kind of haphazardly getting these colors poking out of every side of the photo. So usually when I have small scraps like this, I'll do what I just did and cut them in half using my trimmer, and then sandwich my photo on either side with the scrap so it just looks like one larger scrap. And I'll do that a couple times as I layer. That's a really good trick, to use these smaller scraps and make them look larger than they are. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue those down on either side. I just tore my double-sided tape in half because I realized that I wanted more to show than what would have shown if I used a bigger piece. So that was just me fiddling there. But I like that, and so I have a nice little pop of copper right next to the photo, and now I'm pulling in a couple different greens. Definitely wanted to get this scripty minty scrap used up. I love that color, and I think it really complements the green butterflies in the vellum. So I wanted a couple different tones of green just to pull that down to the photo. And then you can see I'm separating the two green layers with the pink layer. So yeah, just trying to get a bunch of colors from this butterfly vellum around the photo just so it's all balanced. So I kind of like how it's staggered, how it is there, but of course some of those pieces were too small and you can't see those patterns on the bottom of the photo. So I will end up cutting and gutting and stretching those papers so they go on either side of the photo as well. I'm trying to figure out if there's any other paper layers I want to add before I get into all of that, but I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So now I'm going to start messing with all these layers to make sure that they look as big as I wanted them to look within my photo. And again, I'm gutting this little section of the mint because I love this pattern paper. I had been good about not gutting every single little thing, but papers like that, I can't help myself. So there we go. And now it's pretty much just piecing down these papers how I had them. So it's just going to take me a minute to do that and trying to figure out how much I want of this color to show on either side. I do want it to be offset a little bit, just to add a little bit of interest. So there you can see I just trimmed a chunk of that off of the side or the bottom. I don't know. It'll go on the opposite side of the photo from where that piece will be. So in the end, hopefully it will look like that is one large pink piece of paper that fit the layer I was trying to make it work into. So that just takes a minute. It looks like ridiculous on the back when you end up getting all these different small pieces like cut up and glued together, but hopefully from the front it looks like it all makes sense. That's just how my brain works to get these smaller scraps used up this way. So there's a method to madness. And this green also I needed to gut and save. I love that emerald green that comes in the collection as well. So there we go, getting that top section glued down, and then again I will save a piece of that to go on the bottom of the photo so that looks like a longer piece than it is. But I think once I finally get this glued down, for the most part, that's the end of the paper layers, and then I want to embellish, so definitely want to pull in some more of this copper. I love the metallic that comes in this collection. I think it's so pretty. So with having that little sparkle in the vellum and then the little accents in the layers, I definitely wanted to get more of that too. But with this butterfly being this kind of taupey gray, there's a little journaling spot that's that same color, so I thought it would be nice if that color also sandwiched the photo. So you can see where I'm placing the butterfly there, and I'm thinking I'm going to have this journaling spot coming off of the opposite side of the layers, just so that butterfly isn't out of place, which I don't think it would have been because that butterfly is in the vellum as well. But I just feel like I needed that gray color somewhere else too within the photo layers. So I like how that's balancing. And then with wanting to pull in some more copper, I have this Fine Joy in the Ordinary ephemera piece, so I thought that looked nice too as a subtitle. So that's what I'm working with now. I do want to pop the butterfly and that little scripty sentiment up on some foam, so there's a little bit of dimension. And then we will go from there. I also have the puffy copper word sticker embellishment sheets, so I wanted to get some more of that on here as well. I'm surprised I haven't ran through that already, to be honest, because I was really excited when I found out that those were puffy and not chipboard. But I think over the course of this month, I've really been trying to, like, the whole point of How to Kill a Kit with Style is to kill the kit, obviously. Like, you want to use all the products that you've pulled out to use, but with this, you know, the current predicament we're all in this month, I haven't been going to stores or Tuesday mornings or Hobby Lobby or ordering anything just because shipments have all slowed down. And I know a lot of people right now are home more than they usually are, but I'm not, so I haven't had any extra time to scrap. But long story short, I kind of wanted to draw out these products a little bit because I don't have a large stash as it is, so I'm kind of worried about killing a lot of these kits that I have when I don't have access to really shipping or stores, or I'm not shopping because I'm trying to save, you know, that kind of thing for right now. So I think that's why some of this stuff I'm not using as much as I would. I'm interested to see where we're going to be at the end of this month and how much I'm going to have left over, because I already saved. You guys saw in the beginning when I did my kit share how much I saved from, I mean, I pulled only half out from the paper pads, so I still have half of this collection paper wise, but not embellishment wise. So I'm kind of trying to figure out if I do a part 2 to One Canoe 2 Willow How to Kill a Kit with Style, worried I won't like have as much fun if I use all the embellishments now, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. I'm not intentionally trying to save stuff, but I'm also like not trying to just get things used up to kill the kit, because I know I have more of these products I want to use. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what will happen, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. I did take this cute little die cut doily and layered that behind my 2 clusters, and then you can see I just took another chunk of that copper polka dot scrap and cut a banner into it, so that brought that pattern and that pop of metallic somewhere else too. I also like that kind of anchors all of these layers that are coming off the side of the photo. And then instead of doing journaling, because I thought it was really kind of self-explanatory, I'm just going to use more numbers because I have so many numbers left on this sticker sheet, and just say 11 months since it's Billy's 11-month birthday. And then I will get those coppery stickers on here. I definitely wanted to use up the hearts. So I have one heart in each of these 2 clusters, and then I'm going to pull the word happy off and put it in the upper left-hand corner. That section up there was looking kind of empty, and I wanted to fill it with something. And it also fit that word happy perfectly, so I'm just going to pull out my hashtag sticker book and enamel dots now and try and fill in a couple little sections. I wanted to pull in some word stickers again. You guys know I've loved doing that this month, but I really just wanted to beef up the section with the title. I really didn't think like anything in the bottom corner around the photo needed word stickers, but I thought that would be a nice little addition up there to the title. And then again, I'll pull in my enamel dots. So I really wanted to pull in some two-tone pinks, maybe the aqua. There are a lot of colors of enamel dots that coordinated with this multicolored page. I thought at first I was just going to use these pink ones, but then I kind of ran out of the sizes I wanted to scatter around the page. But I had a couple of these minty ones, so excuse me, I thought it would be fun to toss an aqua green minty dot in each of the clusters. So there's 2-tone pinks and then an aqua. I thought that was kind of fun. I like that little pop of the green in each of those clusters too. So that's what I ended up doing. I think that kind of looks funky and cool. But yeah, that's pretty much a page here, the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is an additional challenge this month for Mercy Tiara's Facebook group. So I'll link them in the description if you want to play along. And then there's also obviously a hop today. So I will link all the ladies who are doing off the board with pineapple papers in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.